So, who would like to start? Mr. Barnes, why does Sam aggravate you?
15 seconds to drop. So what's our plan? Hey.
Great.
Superheroes cannot be allowed to exist. I have no intention to leave my work unfinished.
The world's upside down right now.
Where do we start?
Whole squad ready. We came here to see Jeff. What you got? No, not on my.
Buck, I have a plan. Oh, yeah? What is it?
Is you ready?
Here we go again, huh?
We've been grinding hard on the job. Can't take that from us. Are you ready? Is you ready? You fucking ready? Ready? Is you ready? Are you ready? Is you ready?
That little girl kicked your ass.
Gotta get that first shot off before that bullet hit me.
See? That wasn't so hard.
Are you ready? Is you ready?
Okay.
You say you ready.
What are you doing?
Whole squad ready.
Are you having a staring contest?
Are you ready? Is you ready?
Just blink. Sweet Jesus. I mean, how old are you?
Are you ready? I don't know whether I'm ready, but look at Jill. Yeah,
Oh,
you can see all the whites
ready.
at the top of her eyes.
Oh, that hurts.
Oh, sorry. Were you having a staring contest?
Yes.
Hello and welcome to the Periodic Table of Awesome. My name is Dion.
My name is Quinny.
And I'm Jill.
Yay! That's the fastest we've ever done that.
It is. It's amazing,
Yay.
isn't it? Yay! And like Jill's in the proper place above both of us today. Hi, Jill.
I'm the
Oh, hang on. No,
boss.
if I do that, that gets real weird and creepy. So I'm never going to do that. Sorry. You know what? Seems appropriate.
Yes, and thanks to was it Elskanoj 42? Yes, we had a super secret stream earlier when we did something where it logged all of us out of Twitch, and I was like, well, I better check if it still works, and it does. Hooray! Anyway, yeah, it was such a great chat.
Yeah.
Excellent stream.
Yeah.
Thousands watched.
It's our
And
best one yet.
Best
and
one
Missy
yet.
is giving us the feedback that you were a little bit quiet there, Dion.
Oh, how? Why? Why?
I
would
don't know,
be?
but we're just going to make you louder, and more
can.
exciting.
You can make me as loud as you feel like. I don't really know.
Ah, but no, Faisal's saying Dion's always soft, but super soft.
That's
This
and
is
I'm
soft
fine
one.
with being super soft. Yay.
Oh. and also, hello, so
already?
fluffy you could cuddle.
Oh, geez.
Oh no,
Already.
so fluffy you could die.
Oh.
Uh-oh, someone knows my secret.
That's your secret, is it? What's your secret? Your always birthday. Huh?
I'm always...
Oh, goodness.
Yes, Cap, I'm always birthday.
Oh, so which being the case, I think it's very important that everybody in the chat drop some Fs. I don't know what that even means. It's something that people
say
do.
it on the Twitch.
yeah. I've
Drop
heard that
an
that's a thing
F.
that people do on the
106.
internet.
Drop
And
an
how's your
F.
Tinder dating
I'm gonna,
profile?
I'm going to just... F?
Fucked.
And I'll put an F in the chat for that one. There you go. Yeah.
We're all doing
Um,
Fs in the chat.
There are so many Fs in that chat.
Shout out to Chris Evans if he's watching tonight. Absolutely. And I'm waiting for you, please.
Oh no, the F is for fallen dead comrades. Oh dear.
no.
Oh.
Oops.
Okay.
Yeesh.
Whereas Elskanogga is saying gratula middagen, Jill, which
Cool.
is
get-
Norwegian for I'd like to suck your toes or something. I don't know.
Does it? Oh. But then followed by an F, so I'm not sure what's going on. Oh dear.
Excellent.
Yes.
I'd like to suck your dead toes, you weirdo. I don't know.
Well,
Anyway,
this had started out as a podcast about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but it's not anymore. We're just going to talk about Jill and how amazing she is. Because happy birthday, Jill!
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Copyright strike if I keep singing.
Yeah, that's the limit. Wait,
Shut up
okay,
now.
go on.
How are you today, Jill? Have you had a good day?
I had to work. I didn't cry about being older today. I did that yesterday.
Oh.
So I just tried to keep it positive.
Okay, more F's in
been
the
real
chat
chill today.
for the Jill. Lots of F's. Just
Yeah, F for all of the crying that she was doing. Yeah, so many F's in
I
that
had
chat.
a lovely time on Saturday night with you folks.
My word, we did.
Had a few
thanks.
beverages.
Yes, standing up
Yes.
and everything. We're allowed to.
Yeah.
We're
you
able
can-
to stand up now.
I had a cocktail dessert. How
What?
good is that?
It's true.
Yeah.
What was the cocktail dessert?
It was like a pina colada meringue extravaganza. It was like a pineapple sorbet with rum and like toasted meringue on the top, and they put a sparkler in it for me because it was my birthday.
So we have now answered the question: do you like pina coladas?
I
And then
do.
4 days of rain.
Oh, Jesus.
How timely.
I know, right?
Get
Yeah, I'm
out.
pretty sure that's
No.
not the actual lyrics, but fuck it, who cares?
No rain jokes around here, Quiddy. That's fucked.
Yeah,
But it's
sorry,
finally
sorry.
stopped raining after fucking, I don't know, how many days?
Yeah.
I
A
know,
week?
it's finally stopped. Oh my god.
Well,
Yeah.
proving absolutely that the crow was right. It can't rain all the time.
No. That means I've got to stop crying because the tears aren't going to hide that anymore.
Oh yeah. Oh, wow. Fucking wow.
But I tell you something that doesn't bring a tear to your eye, Jill.
Oh, wait, it did though. We're talking about Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
And can I ask, out of all of the Marvel things that have come out over the last 12 months, has this one been high on your list of?
Oh my word, it has. It definitely has. I wish my Disney app could tell me how many times I've watched the episode because I don't remember now.
Oh wow.
You clocked it.
Admittedly,
It got to 999 and then it just went back to zero. And you're like, I don't know how many
Resets,
I've got.
yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
I'm sorry. You appear to have clocked Disney Plus. That's intriguing because on Friday night, after we had our sort of casual chat sesh, and we interrupted your second viewing.
Yes, I stopped halfway through the second time through.
To come and
I
have a
went
chat.
back and finished it, and then
Okay.
watched it again, and then I watched it again, and then I watched it again. So I think like
Wow.
5 times now. Yeah.
So you're the expert on it. So what happened at minute 12? Just-
That was when I cried.
okay, cool.
And minute 15.
Still
I
crying.
think Sam was fixing the boat.
Right.
I'm not looking at the time call, you guys.
No, that's okay. That's fine. We know that you were
Thoroughly
just
enjoying it.
watching it with mouth agape and just a little bit of drool.
Oh
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, this is very so. Okay, we talked about it briefly on Friday, but now we're here to actually very seriously, very professionally.
Very nuanced discussion on the episode.
So, how hot was Bucky? Oh my
Wait,
god!
Sorry. So you're after nuanced
On a
discussion.
scale of 1 to Steve, he was a 9.
Oh, a 9 on the Steve rater-meter.
Yes, if you put the two of them in the room, it's like you can't even gauge it.
Wow. Okay.
The room just starts to melt.
Yes.
Yes.
It's kind of like the if you put them together, you just end up with the weird elephant's foot from Chernobyl. That big slag melt that's just at the bottom of the reactor there. It's so hot, I don't know what's in there.
Good. I haven't
Yes.
watched Chernobyl, so this is going straight over my head.
Yeah.
So anyway, let us have a very, very brief synopsis of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Following the events of Avengers Endgame, Sam Wilson / the Falcon and Bucky Barnes / sorry, there's a lot of slash in here.
I'm waiting for you to go.
Oh, don't I know it?
Don't we fucking know.
Guys, I was waiting for that slash fiction.
yeah.
Thank you, Jill. You got there.
Yeah. The Winter Soldier team up in a global adventure that tests their abilities and their patience. And that's it. That's the synopsis.
Oh, I mean, I'm
So, what was your synopsis, Jill?
Oh, it was Steve Rogers' second best friend, Sam Wilson, and his first best friend, Bucky Barnes, go on adventures without Steve.
Oh,
Yeah.
because where is Steve?
On the moon, apparently.
Apparently.
According to the conspiracy theorists.
I like that they've
Steve
clearly gone, okay, we know that people are going to watch this shit and do the theorizing and all of the conspiracy theory shit. So fuck it. Let's make a character that does that.
I like the one that's on the Wikipedia. I'm just reading it. 6 months after being handed the mantle of Captain America at the end of Avengers Endgame, Sam Wilson teams up with Bucky Barnes in a worldwide adventure that tests their abilities and their patience.
Shenanigans ensue.
Yeah, it's almost like WandaVision again. It's like, ah. Actually, that would have been amazing. Can you imagine these guys turning up in WandaVision? Just as, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. Anyway.
My mind's blown.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that would be amazing. So this is following on from 8 weeks, was it, of WandaVision?
Yeah.
No.
Yes, 8 weeks, 9 episodes. We got 2 in 1 week.
Yes.
Yeah.
So eight weeks of WandaVision and then 1 week off where we just got to watch a making of, and then have dived straight into the first episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And did you enjoy? I know you've watched it more times than anyone, but
as a resident expert,
did you enjoy it?
Most certainly I did. Yes.
Right.
I've been waiting for this since it was announced. Like, so excited, so excited. I'm really glad that I've finally seen it. And how many times can I watch the episode before the next one, and so forth. But oh my god, it's just so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know how to describe how happy I was with the episode.
I gotta say that I found the whole thing like I started watching the episode and I was like, oh yeah, and I was into it. I was enjoying it, and it starts with a big action sequence, like lots of flying and stuff like that. And it took me about 5 minutes before I went, oh, hang the fuck on, this is a TV show.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, they've left nothing at the door. Like, it's a Marvel production. They're going all out.
Yeah, well, and it's funny because like WandaVision did that whole thing of feeling very televisual for the first however long, and it really sort of held back. And even when it was doing special effects stuff in like episode 4 and 5 and stuff like that, it still kind of felt a bit televisual. This is not. This is big widescreen movie shit. And, feels like there's a lot of money being thrown around, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think after having like a pretty calm 8 weeks of just WandaVision and our minds being twisted and what have you, it's nice to see a bit of action.
Yeah.
Did anyone else get the feeling that it was a little dull though for an opening sequence? Like, I'm just asking. I'm not trying to be. I know when to not overstep the boundaries. And Jill, I'm not saying it was bad.
Because she will shiv you.
Yeah. There was someone standing just to my left with a knife, going, "I will cut you."
they're the official Marvel enforcer.
Yeah, funnily enough, just like Mickey Mouse, and it's weird. But yeah, like I kind of watched that first action sequence, and I was like, Where's the Winter Soldier? This is just Falcon.
So flying acrobatics through Tunisia was not exciting enough for you, Dion?
Nah.
Like a team run by Batroc in squirrel suits being chased by a falcon was not interesting for you?
Well, yeah. Oh, it's a metaphor. Oh, okay.
So an opening.
Chopper to chopper?
Yeah. Flying wingsuits into choppers, whilst flying around at the same time, going through trench run stuff and desperately trying to avoid going into the neighboring country and stuff like that. It's all a bit tedious, hey?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
it was pretty dull.
I expected more from Disney in the first episode. I mean, where was the world destroying alien? You know, come on. No, look.
That comes later, possibly.
I mean, I really appreciated that they brought back Batroc.
Yeah. that's
Which
pretty
is
cool.
kind of like when people are like, I know that guy, to like a C-list villain. Because in the comics, he is a twirly mustache. You're like, hello, I am Batroc. I will kick you. You know, kind of
I will
like-
kick you.
Yeah, not even that. I am Batroc. My name is the Leaper.
Yeah,
What do? I leap. I am known for my leaping.
Maybe I kick you.
That's about it.
Yeah, and I
My
mean-
first name is Georges, plural.
Yeah.
I'm more than
I'm
one
not
George.
George. I'm two Georges.
But then
like-
again, that is also the actor's name, so I'm not going to make too much fun of him.
Yeah,
No,
probably
he will
still-
come and kick you,
he will-
Quinny.
Yeah, he will leap at me.
Yeah.
He
So
will.
much leap.
But yeah, it's kind of nice to do a bit of bookending in that way. And I'm really looking forward to the actual villain that I can sink my teeth into, like the good one.
So,
Eventually.
well, I guess, I mean,
You're implying that Zemo's not going to be a good villain.
No, well, it's no Daniel Bruhl as Baron Zemo is kind of the one that I want to come out.
ooh,
then.
ooh, ooh.
Yes.
We'll
yes.
get there.
Yeah. Or Mephisto, who will definitely.
Fucking Mephisto.
Finally, we'll get to see him. Playing everyone like a puppeteer in the background.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
did see today one of my favorite ones of those, which was Don Cheadle, who, by the way, amazing to see Don Cheadle there, but also the small furrowed brow on Don Cheadle, and somebody realized that there's an M in his skin
Yeah.
from his
Mephisto
furrowed brow,
confirmed.
clearly confirming.
Mephisto.
Yeah, which makes so much sense in the grander scheme of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I rewatched Iron Man the other day, and it was so funny watching all of the scenes with the Terrence Howard. And there's this whole thing of like, oh, buddy,
Yeah.
like
well.
the moment where he looks at the suit and he's like, see you next time, and you're like,
Oh
no.
no.
Sorry.
See you next time, pal.
I mean, look, I kind of like John Cheadle anyway. Like, we're not talking about that. We're
yeah.
talking about, let's focus back up. We're talking about Sebastian Stan and some other guy who's, I don't know, named Anthony or
Anthony
something.
Mackie, give the guy some credit. He's freaking leading this show, damn it.
Yes, and he's badass.
Is he though?
Yes.
I love the little bit of juxtaposition between the whole sort of thing. Like there's the story narrative, and then there's the other narrative. And God love Anthony Mackie because he's up against Sebastian Stan's fandom against this, which is quite large. But then that's also being played out on screen by the fact that he's not actually Captain America. He's just a stand-in for it. So I like how it's kind of, he doesn't have to act very much. He just sort of goes, yeah.
Sorry, I like that Chest Angela has put in there Juilliard graduate Anthony Mackie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I studied at Juilliard.
Yeah. The last person I saw that went to Juilliard was what's his name? Oh, fuck.
Alan Tudyk.
Alan Tudyk. Yeah, and he played a chicken for God's
I went to
sakes. Like,
Juilliard.
I went to Juilliard.
Sure.
Sure.
And I'm playing a chicken.
Yes.
I also shout out to Amy for fucking Mephisto, a Winter Soldier fanfic.
Absolutely.
Mephisto.
yeah. And to those of us who joined in on the live show on Friday, we know that Will provided us with some quality visuals
Mephisto?
for some stuff that. So you should probably go and find the recording of that, and you can see all about that.
Oh, goody.
Yeah. It was educational. Anyway, so
We're getting back into
okay,
box talk.
So
What the
Dion,
fuck
you
is
weren't
going
particularly
on?
into the opening sequence.
No, I wasn't that excited by the opening sequence. Like, I don't know why. I was just watching it going, yeah, it's okay. Like, they're gonna do a lot. Like, they're gonna do a lot of flying. But if that is the thing, because it was kind of, it's sort of like, oh, we were doing everything for the Falcon here, because he does a lot of that fancy flying. But I'm kind of like, where are you gonna go from there? Like, why are you starting at such a high point? Because, how are you going to make him fly more later? Especially because considering the other guy can't fly. Anyway, yeah.
So are you worried that they've? Okay, I'm trying to understand your problem here. Do you find that it was boring, or do you feel like they blew their load too early, to use an unfortunate expression?
Because of the second part of your terrible metaphor, I found it slightly boring. Yes. That makes sense?
So they went too hard too fast, and then you were bored for the rest of it. Jesus God, where have we gone?
Dion didn't get to finish. That's what's happening.
What are you talking about? Where have we gone, Quinny? We haven't gone anywhere. You have gone to a place that we can't follow.
You can. It just means you've got to come second.
I thought we agreed we weren't going to be doing any boner
And
jokes.
that's it for tonight.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Aren't you glad you stuck around for this high quality content?
That's the
Yeah,
Falcon
I
and the
thought this was
Winter
supposed to
Boner.
be,
Yes, a very deep, thoughtful review of the. Okay, so I did bring it up at one point, and I think there is something to be said. It does have some moments where the pace does kind of drop off, but I have seen a few people say that they really didn't like it, and I was kind of like, why? What?
yeah.
Um,
When has exploring somebody's, character story become boring? This is a television series meant to be exploring these characters that didn't get enough screen time in movies, and you're not here for it. So I don't understand why you'd be watching the show if you don't want to see that stuff.
yeah.
I mean, is it fair of me to say that I felt like I got a bit, I didn't get enough Bucky, I think, in the first episode. I think they're holding him back, probably for a reason it was good.
Yeah.
I liked the scenes he was in. I just felt it a little bit like, this is supposed to be a show about both of them, but it felt a little
Like, I get
slow.
that it was Sam heavy. There was a lot of Sam stuff going on. We did get like a really good, decent part of the show for Bucky.
Yeah.
But, in retrospect and having watched it 5 times, I like to think of it as a good thing that they didn't get together in the first episode. Like, let's see this juxtaposition of these two characters and where they're actually coming from in terms of how they relate to Steve being their common thread. We've seen Sam's introduction to Steve and how they became very close friends when Steve was going through all his shit with like not having Bucky around and stuff. And Sam seems to have more of his life together. He's like, kind of got a career and all this kind of stuff, and he's got a family and everything. And then we have poor Bucky, who's like being dragged back from the dead after like 90 years of just fighting all of the time, and trying to find himself and bring his personality to the world. And
I found it amazing that Wakandan therapy is just stay on a farm by yourself for a bit.
yeah, I mean, the poor
Also, he's
boy
an
needs to
arm.
find himself. He didn't get enough time in Wakanda.
Wait, is
and-
that true? Did I see that meme? Is that when they gave him the arm, they gave him the wrong arm? Like they
I
gave,
did
didn't they
see
give?
that.
Did someone? I haven't checked the
Wrong
footage.
arm.
Yeah, there was
He's
a,
like, it's my right arm. What the fuck?
yeah. Like they gave him a right arm instead of a left arm. Or someone
No.
photoshopped it. I don't know.
It was
Someone
a joke.
photoshopped it. Oh my god.
It was.
Here I am gonna get on my high horse on the internet.
It's okay. It's okay.
How dare you? But I mean, look,
It's your birthday. You don't have to get angry at the internet. You're allowed.
I find like after the first episode of like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I know everything that I need to know about the Falcon, and now I don't care. Like, I mean, it's
Really?
yeah. Like, I'm like, great. He's got a family. He's got to do a fishing boat. He probably shouldn't go overseas and shoot people to try because he's probably not getting paid that well. And if he is
Well,
risking his
no,
life,
he's not.
yeah. Well, if he is
Like you
risking,
pointed out, they only get paid by goodwill. Like
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
don't have an income.
well, I mean, I would say, what happened to Stark Enterprises, and why isn't he bankrolling them a monthly stipend that would help?
He dared.
Yeah, but Stark Enterprises. Oh no, Stark died, so nope, no more Stark. Come on. Where's what's her name? Gwyneth Paltrow.
Pepper.
Yeah, Goop. She's making money. She can afford to.
Goop's got bank. Why aren't they paying the Avengers?
Yeah. They're selling $500 Yoni eggs. Why can't they give some money to poor Anthony Mackie? What?
I can't say the phrase that I'd like to say because I know I can, but it's still is deeply offensive. So okay, I'm picking up on an interesting thread here, Dee, that you found it a bit slow.
I think he liked it.
No,
I was a bit dulled, bit bored. Like actually, I could have watched another 20 minutes of therapy, of watching a technically 107-year-old man get real frustrated with therapists was way funnier. Mainly because she was treating him like shit. And I like that. I was like, wow, it's like every therapist's dream is like, wow, I can say whatever the fuck I want to someone. And that's what I think it's going to be way more interesting. And plus they did a lot of setup stuff and that's okay. Like, great. But give me maybe 2 episodes so that I can go in, Don't give me
that's
just
the thing. It's weekly because they want you to keep coming back.
Yeah, and that's the kind of one where I go...
And there's only 6 of them.
You haven't thrilled me enough with interest. Don't know if I want to come back to it.
Are you serious? You would think, okay, maybe I'll give episode 2 onwards a miss after
wait
that
till
opening.
It's all out. Why not?
Well,
okay. Fuck you. I sat down and watched 4 hours of Zack Snyder's Justice League over the weekend.
Hey, we will come to that. we will come to that.
So I can do 6 hours of fucking Falcon and Winter Soldier, no problem. It's way more interesting. So yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know if I want to come running back every Friday for that. Maybe it'll prove me wrong.
No,
you don't have to like it. I like it enough for both of us.
Yeah.
Marvel didn't make it for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I am not the target demographic of Falcon and Winter Soldier. Honestly. It's like I'm not that guy.
Are you sure?
What?
Because I don't know. Like I am legitimately surprised and shocked.
That I didn't. Yeah. Well, okay. I don't really like Falcon at all. I've never liked him in. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. It's not the actor. Anthony Mackie's great, but I just wasn't. I've never been a fan of the Falcon, and then I'm just like I would watch a whole series about Winter Soldier going through the Russian stuff and as a spy kind of thriller thing. That's fine, and when you put them together, it's nice to have the chalk and cheese. I just feel like by the end of it, they're still going to be friends, and that's not right. I feel like there should be more tension. That this is going to be a buddy cop.
I think they're probably going to be fucking at each other's throats through most of the show.
There's a lot of antagonism between the two of them.
Yeah. Move your seat.
And it's fine that Sam's not for you, but he's there for a lot of other people, and I think it's an important time to have Sam in the Marvel universe in a lead role.
Sure. I mean,
Absolutely.
it got me up to, the thing that made me really happy was the fucking terrible US agent at the end that made me just go,
I was trying to place it, and then it was until somebody did the old guy from Up with the helmet on. I'm like, that's where I know the face.
Why the face? Because it's just the way he's been bought.
Also, you know what I noticed? His helmet has the ear holes cut out, and I don't think Steve's ever did. Or maybe
it did, but it was way better.
Have sticky out ears.
I'm pretty sure it's more the fact that Chris doesn't have big sticky out wing ears.
Hey, you leave Kurt Russell's son alone. He's got a rich dad.
Wyatt Russell, named after Kurt Russell's favorite character from a movie he was in.
Yes.
Isn't that sad?
Which he
played. A little bit, yeah. Yeah, a little bit.
Well, but I mean, I love that he is kind of the one that we all want to hate. It's kind of like, you've been employed, you got a job in a Marvel thing. Oh, great. Where are you going to play US agent? Everyone's going to hate you.
Yeah.
I've been employed as not Chris Evans.
Yeah.
I think it was Tom Taylor sent through to me. It's what happens when you order a Captain America from Wish.
America. Jesus God.
I also like the meme of, Mom, I want Captain America, but we have Captain America at home.
Captain America at home. Yeah.
There's been many, many good memes.
Yeah. Look, I enjoyed the storyline. I like the idea that, that these series are actually doing a whole bunch of work in terms of fleshing out the world post Snap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they don't need to do it in a 4-hour movie like Zack Snyder's done.
Yeah, absolutely.
gonna
They can do
jump
it over
to
6
shortly.
hours. Yeah, I like that. I like the idea that, banks are still assholes. You've got no income for the last 5 years. I didn't exist.
Yeah. I was
We
dead.
don't actually
Sorry.
care.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Maybe capitalism was the bad guy all along.
Capitalism is Mephisto.
Yay! And realistically, the story is all about the debts we made along the way.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be
Sorry.
the Bank of Mephisto.
No, what? Anyway,
Yeah, I've got you.
that's a different kind of Mephisto.
Yes.
So okay, you didn't particularly get involved in the overarching storyline. You're not overly enthused as to finding out more about the flag smashes and.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Not
Right.
yet. Another
Okay.
faceless terrorist group? I mean, are they just going to keep trying to make allegories between them and Antifa? Like, what the fuck?
Okay.
Yeah, but
Interesting.
just think that,
I hadn't. That's not a parallel that I had picked up on.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. I'm waiting to see the what is the background? What are they going to do? How are they going to make this work? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, we do have the challenge of trying to, look at a thing after one episode and make a call on it, make some kind of call it. Is it going to be great? Is it going to be a complete flop? That's very
It's
difficult.
not going to be a flop.
I wouldn't have thought so, no. And I like that there's enough in there that, to me, got me quite involved. Like, Sam doing his speech about the shield, and then at the end, the asshole from the
basically
government,
being betrayed by the government.
but also being portrayed with his own words, like somebody who's taken his script and said, I'm going to
Exactly.
use that and twist it just enough so that I can turn, this corporate, reimagining of fucking Captain America into, and to take the shield away from him. I felt for him, and I like Sam as a character. I like the Falcon, and I want to know more about him, and I'm interested in his family. Like, this is, aside from Hawkeye, this is basically the first time that we've seen sort of family
Anyone's
stuff.
family. Yeah.
Apart from Tony's, baby 9000 or whatever.
His baby,
Morgan.
I love you. I love you, Morgan. Even Morgan.
I love you 3000.
Well, there are three of
Please,
it. In,
Tony.
I'm sorry, Jesus, I'm so sorry.
And Andre 3000.
Anyway, I predict that Sam and Bucky will become family. And that will be the real love story for this show.
They're the family that you made along the way.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
Watch
Personally-
this space for a review when it's done.
Yeah,
I think that's probably a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. I think we discussed this. We couldn't actually, review this. Like we can't actually sit there and give it a rating, can we?
I mean, you can go by.
I'll give it 100 right now.
There you go.
Well, I mean,
But I'll wait.
you can't give every episode 100, Jill. It's just not fair. You're just throwing out the bell curve.
Yeah.
I was going to give it 600 right now.
Yeah. there you
100
go.
for every week.
Well, I'm just
I'm
going
not
to give.
entirely sure I can put 600 into the scoring system, but that's okay.
I'm just going to give it 0 to flatten it out.
Oh, okay. Well, shit.
That's how we're going to play this. All
And
right.
the great part about maths is when it comes to averages, you take out the outliers. So the 600 and the 0 both get wiped out. So whatever the fuck score I give it is what it gets.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Be
50.
your best friend, Queenie. Give it 100.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I don't think we can do that. Like,
Look, I can do what I want because I am the one who writes in the ratings.
But I can do it.
So yeah.
Good to
Okay.
see.
Casper is giving it a 90.
Oh, Jesus.
And that, yeah.
Jeez, that's a bit much. Come on, Casper. It's one episode. I'm always
Yeah,
going to
but
be.
based on that one episode, He's giving it 90.
I'm also gonna I'm maybe a bit gun shy. Like maybe my rating would change if I saw all of them. But of the first one, I'm just gonna withhold. Not even gonna know.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's fair enough. I'm intrigued.
What?
Somebody wants us to name all of the numbers of pi.
Easy.
So
Cherry,
Dion's going to rate it
blueberry,
3.145792.
Pumpkin, apple, sweet potato.
Cherry.
Yes. I'm going to go with key lime.
Key lime.
Ooh la la.
Because it's my favorite kind of
going-
pie.
Pecan.
Hey, very nice. I do love a good pecan pie.
Beef and mushroom.
Ooh, chicken and leek.
Oh, are we just going to start naming pies randomly? I like that all these people.
Somebody asked for it. We're giving the people what they want.
Yeah. This is just it's just pie talk. Oh yeah. You came from Falcon and Winter
Go to the
Soldier.
clip.
You stay. What?
We can do that, but I do want to say that I thought it personally, from my perspective, I thought it was a super solid first episode. I liked the stuff with Bucky and the date, and I enjoyed the idea of seeing where he's trying to reintegrate with life. And I mean, there were a couple of times where I was like, oh, okay, we're back with Sam. But I think it was mostly because I was enjoying the time spent with Bucky that I was like, can we stick with him for a bit longer?
Do you just feel sad that you don't get to see the wonderful group therapy session of Steve Rogers and Bucky Barnes in the same group therapy session?
You mean geriatric Steve now?
No, I mean like the one that he did in Avengers. Like you just never get to see that one in Endgame, in the second one.
Oh.
Remember that was part of it. You never get to see the whole thing, like them together and then hugging.
Yeah, I know. I'm devastated. But anyway, I have fan fiction to fill that hole. That's fine.
Not touching that.
I meant metaphorically.
Not touching that.
Not literally.
I know it's your birthday, Jill, but we're just going to move on.
Oh!
I mean, for crying out loud.
Hey, that Captain America stripper never showed up on Saturday night.
Oh, yeah, right.
Didn't he? That motherfucker owes me $10.
Yeah.
For 10? Oh my God, where did you find him?
Wish.
Oh,
On
no.
Wish.
It was actually.
It was Wyatt Russell.
I'm sorry, we didn't have a Captain America stripper. It's just U.S. agent was available. Oh God.
Okay, one question that Rob's asked in the thing is in the chat. I'm hoping we learn more about Bucky's life before World War II and what he originally planned to do after the war. Like there was some discussion from one of the trailers about him talking about the fact that he'd read The Hobbit or he'd read Lord of the Rings. Like, are we going to find out that Bucky is just a massive nerd?
He is a massive nerd. He's like a huge science nerd.
But like,
Right.
He dragged Steve to the World's Fair to go and look at flying cars.
But you
That-
also
okay.
you
That's
got
his
to
whole
you also
thing.
got to like the original Bucky in the comics is not actually Steve's mate who got him into the war. The actual Bucky is like Robin to the Batman of Captain America.
Yes.
You
we
know,
But
it's
that
a
has
bit
since
weird.
Changed.
Yes,
Oh,
it's definitely
kind of
changed.
retconned it in the comics too now, though.
Well,
right,
yeah, 'cause
okay.
they-
Like there is a storyline of that, but they've retconned it a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. Wanda hexed it, and that's how it fixed it. Yay! Hex magic. She has
Gotta love it.
She
Blood Sugar
has
Hex
it.
Magic.
Blood
One of my
Sugar
favorite albums.
Hex magic. She has it. Anyway.
And no, I'm not entirely sure when The Hobbit was first published as a children's book.
He read it in 1935,
Yeah.
according to the trailer, or 37. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll
Oh,
watch it again.
all right.
Look, from the chat, did we? I mean, there are a few people who seem to think that it's a bit slow. Maybe it's building up to stuff, and I don't know. Were we okay with the fact that they weren't necessarily, meeting in the first episode? Would that have made you happy, Dee, if they'd been hanging out in the first episode?
Well, give me at least the understand. Like, I mean, why call something Falcon and the Winter Soldier when it doesn't have Falcon and the Winter Soldier together, and you're waiting to put them together in for whatever situation. Just push them together. That's the reason they're there. It's like, wow,
Wow.
they're not even hanging out yet. Come on, just get there.
Every now and then, I am astonished at how impatient some people are. It's like, it's called a story arc.
Yeah. But if I'm still fucking waiting for the Rocky Horror Picture Show to show me the picture. Like, what picture are they watching? What film are they going to see? It's just taking forever.
It's a science fiction double feature.
Yeah. Where's the double feature?
You're a difficult man. You're an impatient man. And yet, I still love you.
Yes. I mean, that'd be like coming out with Black Widow and you don't even get to see Scarlett Johansson until 20 minutes into the film.
Or like watching Justice League and not seeing Superman until literally 2.5 hours in.
Was that a segue, Quinny?
It might be.
It might be. So
right.
check this space back again. We will be back to talk about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Okay. Gird thy loins. It is time for us to enter towards Zack Snyder's. The Snyder. But first,
Snyderverse.
it's important to acknowledge something, I think, before we get to that one. Quinny, is this a clip you wanted me to play?
Absolutely. I think this is very important.
Yeah,
it's a cinematic thing that we needed everybody to be aware of. Jill, you may need to watch the stream because you won't be able to see it because we're on Zoom.
Yeah. All right. Okay, we'll just do this and then we'll go to the Zack Snyder one.
Yes, absolutely.
So begins the end for Darkseid.
I've never seen a being this strong. Maybe one. He's back.
I spent a lot of time trying to divide us. I made a promise to him on his grave. I need to bring us together. There are enemies coming from far away.
They serve an old power.
This world is divided. No protectors here. No lanterns. No Kryptonium. It will fall in his name. I have turned worlds to dust. All of existence shall be mine.
I have a second chance. I am not gonna waste it.
He said the age of heroes would never come again.
Fighting the devil and his army. You know, I don't care how many demons he's fought and how many hells. He's never fought us united. It's time to stand, fight. The time is now.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was about to go.
Like some weird and kind of annoying bird.
Yes, well, okay. Look, I mean, we can't go too far without actually acknowledging the fucking Snyder cut. Sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, come on. Okay, wait. No, actually, I think you can guess my opinion. Someone else start.
Okay.
Yes, go, Quiddy. Quiddy, I'm interested in what you have to think about the Snyder Cut.
What I have to think about it?
What do you have
That's
to
what I have to think about it. I'll tell you what I have to say about it, however.
Yeah, please.
You know what? I was not one of the people who was particularly gung-ho for this. Like, I was interested. There were a lot of other people out there who were making noise saying, yes, there is a version of this film that people need to see. And I was like, okay, cool. Look, we have covered the original film twice now.
Once drunkenly and once sober.
Yeah.
Well, yes. We originally reviewed the theatrical release, and then wasn't there the extended cut?
No.
Wasn't there?
So no, there was no. This is the extended cut. No, you're talking Batman versus Superman. Superman, Dawn of Justice.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Because there was one that I remember that you couldn't have seen it. Like, you're like, you want to go see this extended thing? I'm like, nope.
Yeah, well, funnily enough, it was Beck and I who went and watched that, and interestingly enough, same issue. So, okay, this one follows on from Man of Steel, and then Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice, and then we get Justice League. Man of Steel, I don't know whether there was ever any extended cut of that, but Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice, stupid fucking name, is actually a better film in the extended cut. It adds about half an hour back into it, and it explains a lot more shit that didn't make an awful lot of sense. It still has structurally the same fucking god-awful ideas like Martha. You know, where...
Wait, who's Martha?
You motherfucker.
She's that woman that is his mother and his mother.
And his mother. She's a mother of something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
Brothers.
I've got to say, like in the
From
chat
the
there,
same
for the people who are interested in watching listening to the drunk cinema of us watching Justice League with Beck. That is a good time actually, because there is some interesting, there's some interesting comments that come through with that, and it kind of helps to break down why it's such a bad film.
Yeah.
And then we got this 4-hour monstrosity. Anyway.
So that's the 2017 2-hour cut.
Should we do a drunk cinema of the Snyder Cut?
Oh, chill.
We would die. We would actually die.
Alcohol poisoning.
Don't do that now. I've just finished watching it.
I mean, by the time that you spool it back around, maybe we'll be able to.
I think Zack Snyder's had enough of my life so far with Watchmen and 300 and.
I liked the 300 sucker punching Watchmen comment. That was
yeah. Well, actually, funnily enough, I never went through Sucker Punch. I never got all the way through. I just kept turning it off after a while, going. Anyway. But I did
I don't have a lot of hate for Zack Snyder. I really don't. Like, I thought Dawn of the Dead, which was his... Sorry?
I don't hate the man.
Oh, I'm glad. Good. And as Casper says, Sucker Punch is a perfectly fine music video. But yeah, I don't dislike Zack's stuff. But what he was doing with the whole DC universe was, years ago we made a joke back on when we were doing Cool Shite, that from now on everything was going to be the grimdark DC universe, where we were going to do Green Lantern in Darkest Night, and in Batman the Darkest Dark Knight, and Dark Knight Returns, and Superman Dark Steel, and everything was dark. And then they actually fucking did it. And we all went, oh no, that was a joke.
We need
this is not a
we need a darker Batman. How?
Yeah.
This was so fucking dark that it all occurred in twilight, basically. Like it was dusk throughout this entire film. And that's including the middle of the day.
Yeah.
It was so fucking dark that it just was always nighttime.
Yeah. Yeah, even when there is very clearly a sunrise or a sunset or a sun above, it still somehow managed to feel like early evening. Yeah.
I mean, I think
So
that was the thing that we, because I watched this with Jill, like, yay!
Yeah, you
we
guys
sat down and
got
we
to sit
watched
together.
it, and at least talk about it, or commiserate at some point. Was one of the first things I think, Jill, you noticed is that it was so desaturated.
I'm
it's
like,
like
dude,
I
this
can't
is
even
so
tell.
washed out. I don't even know like what color anybody is right
now.
It's
and this
what
is
they're wearing. Everything is just dark.
And it is a problem I had with the one of the things when the first trailers came out, everyone was like, Jesus Christ, it's so dark and so thing. And then the Joss Whedon version came out and they did amp up the color.
Oh yeah.
And you do get Superman in his bright reds and blues and stuff like that. And it is a more colorful film, but also
I can't even tell that Superman was wearing a black suit in this film. Like you're like, oh, it's just so dark I can't see the color.
Yeah, it didn't really make sense, did it?
And
why do you want to have the one thing that people talk about your movie is being your shit color grading?
Yeah.
Why is that?
The funny thing
why
is,
do you want that to be the most talked about thing in your movie?
Oh, I don't think that's the most talked about thing, surely.
No, the first thing they're going to talk about is why is it in fucking 4.3, 4:3 aspect ratio? Why?
Because art, Dion.
Yeah, I don't know.
Actually, no. Originally, I believe the intent was that it was going to be mostly for IMAX, and IMAX is 4:3.
I don't give a shit. Like, just put a letterbox on it. That was the only thing Joss Whedon must have made the decision on. Oh yeah, it's totally going to be 16:9.
Yeah,
I mean,
at the very least,
I don't know if I could have watched all of this in IMAX. Would have just bored the shit out of me at some point. Which sounds bad because I actually think that Zack Snyder's Justice League is a far superior film to Joss Whedon.
I was going to say you're both kind of going in with the negative news, but I was going to roll in and just come in and say I actually quite enjoyed it.
My first negative new was 12 minutes of fucking camera tracking shots across whatever mountain that Bruce Wayne was riding a horse over. Like, I was like, yes, I know where we are. Yes, yep, we've established that it's another mountain range. Okay, cool. Okay, this is very self-indulgent.
It is, and I think what I would say about the film is that it does suffer very badly from somebody needed to listen to an editor.
But that's the point of it being a director's cut, is that he can put all of that shit in there. Every scene that he filmed that didn't make it into Joss's one is in this movie. And
then a few that
putting director's cut on the end should kind of forgive all of that extra fluff.
It does, but at the same time, as a filmmaker, you're still trying to tell a story that moves at a certain pace.
Yeah.
And there are a couple of times where I was like, actually, buddy, there's a reason that this probably should have been trimmed. Like there are quite a few bits where it's like, that didn't need to be in slow-mo. Like,
no.
You know,
so it was so heavily trimmed in Joss's version that it just did not make sense in some parts.
No.
And with the amount of fleshing out that has happened in this version, yes, it all makes perfectly good sense now, but there are still quite a lot of things that could have been left out.
Yeah. And I mean, not that I held any love for Joss Whedon at all, but I do feel it must have been a fucking awful challenge to be given the film that you know, you've got 4 hours there of film and said, we need you to cut this down to 2 hours. And we also need you to make it fun, and we need it to not be grimdark. Oh, and by the way, you know, we're not going to give you the ability to reshoot that much of it. So off you go. I mean, he's a douche canoe, but that would have been a fucking shit job. And what he did with it was a shit job.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just, we all know the failure. Actually, this is the thing. I don't really want to judge the film like the Snyder cut based on what happened for the original sort of release that came out. I'm more trying to figure out like a lot more shit to me made sense
Oh,
in
yes.
the Snyder Cut. I mean, and I think that 4 hours is far too fucking long for this film. And there's still a lot of ropey decisions that get made along the way, or pacing issues, like who are we following, what are we doing here? It really could easily have been made into 3 separate shorter films.
Or even if we got to explore the other characters that were a part of this Justice League in their own solo films before bringing them together.
Yeah.
For this movie.
Yeah.
Or alternatively split it in half like an Infinity War Endgame style thing, and leave it on a cliffhanger and come back for another one.
I think that could have worked. I think there was enough in that first half of the film that you could very easily have done it. The problem is that it doesn't have a big enough crescendo in the middle point. Like you'd have to have reworked it pretty significantly to turn it into something that would feel like enough for a standalone film for the first half of it.
I know you didn't find that Willem Dafoe turning up in that midway point as a crescendo. I mean, I did, because I was like, "That's Willem Dafoe. Wow, he looks different to that other film that was all about the Aqua people that he was."
That's something I did find interesting, was all of the decisions that were made in this film that either got completely fucking ignored by later filmmakers, or were just like, we don't like that design, so we're just going to not do that in our film.
Why does Amber Heard's wig look better?
Why was she speaking in a British accent?
Thank you. And yet why was her accent changing all over the fucking place?
Yes, she goes on to eat roses.
Yeah.
Look, I liked a lot of things about the Zack Snyder one. You know, Batman was more Batman-y.
For sure. Oh my God, 100%.
Looked a bit more Batman-y and made, some significant sort of cool decisions on there. Aquaman wasn't as much of a dickhead.
Yep. Flash was bearably more likable.
Well, I like that they kind of made Flash in the Whedon one, like he is a poster child for autism. Like, I'm really not trying to be a smartass. Like they're clearly playing that.
Oh yes, yeah.
As him being
suggesting
way
that
spectrum.
he's on a spectrum. Yeah.
Whereas in this one, you kind of see the rest of it and go, oh no, he's just weird. But it's probably because he sees the world in a completely different way to everyone else. And I still really don't like the fact that he's wearing a red suit and has blue lightning. I think it's fucking stupid.
Yes. But also he has hot dogs, because that hot dog bit was weird. That was weird.
That was so weird.
The floppy hot dogs, that was weird. Like without him being like that. And as Missy says,
if he'd taken that hot dog and then just like slapped it on that girl's then put it in his pocket. I'm like,
yeah, that's what it kind of felt like. As Missy said, why can't they talk underwater? They can. They can talk underwater like dolphin clicks. That was in there, and I was like, oh, that's an interesting stylistic choice.
Why isn't that the way they communicate?
Yep. And
because I imagine that would have turned the entirety of Aquaman into a very difficult film to watch. A very more difficult film to watch.
Sorry, who were you talking about?
Aquaman, swift and powerful monarch of the ocean.
Yes.
Monarch of the ocean.
I forgot about that. I totally lost my train of thought. We've already mentioned a bunch of characters. It's okay.
Rob's asking, did they successfully tie this movie into the CW Crisis on Infinite Earths event?
You know what? They got a lot closer than Joss did. Martian fucking Manhunter is in this movie. Where the hell was he?
Oh, I don't have a clip for Martian Manhunter. Damn you, Jill.
I thought that was a very interesting decision to put him in.
Yeah.
And I did see a really good point about that, where the scene where he shows up is actually one of those moments where you're like, by putting that in there, you've actually completely undermined the emotional integrity of the scene that happened before it. Maybe he didn't need to be there. I mean, at the end, he's fine. Yeah, cool, whatever. But yeah, there is a scene earlier on. You're like,
yeah, I don't know why that happened. I don't know.
I mean, Q, you did say earlier to me that, this film suffers from Return of the King-itis. By just never ending. Because it's like...
Yeah.
Oh, no, it ends.
Yeah.
And then goes again.
Yeah.
And then ends. And then goes again. And then ends.
And then a
And
10-minute
then-
sequence.
And then.
And then.
No, and then.
And no, and then.
Exactly.
But getting back, we can come back to that one. I just wanted to say that I felt incredibly more satisfied with the final fight between
Oh my
Yes.
God.
Steppenwolf
Oh,
and the Justice League, because
way
I
more
actually,
earned.
I gave a
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
I gave a shit.
Yep.
Mm.
You get to a point where you've been with these characters long enough that you realize that there is an investment in what they're trying to do even.
Yeah. And it actually feels like they've actually gotten to know each other. They've had time to spend together and learn about each other
Yeah. Yeah.
and maybe value each other's different
And I tweeted this,
abilities.
and it's a dangerous thing to tweet perhaps or whatever, but I think I prefer this version of Wonder Woman to Wonder Woman 1984
What?
because I really fucking hated Wonder Woman 84.
Oh.
Dion, do I have a Wonder Woman sting?
You potentially do.
Come on.
My culture.
I was watching this version of her and going, I like this character. I like that she's super technologically savvy. She is, well aware of her history, has a bit of a clue as to what's going on. I liked this Wonder Woman, and I was like, sweet, okay, I'm happy to have another Wonder Woman film now, but let's not set it in 1980 anything. And let's take our shit seriously, and I think it's going to be great. Look, I think it still suffers from being flabby. Like the original 2017 one felt flabby and confused, and like there are a lot of scenes that didn't know where they were going. This one still has a bit of that.
Are you happy with the removals that they trimmed away from the 2017 one for the recut? Like, I mean, I'm still invested in what was happening to that poor Russian family.
Did they get away?
Yeah.
Do I give a fuck?
Yeah. What happened to Superman's mustache?
What mustache?
Oh my God.
Yeah, something that I enjoyed a lot in this one. I liked that the bad guys suddenly felt like they had weight to them. Like all the way through, Steppenwolf is like in the 2017 one, Steppenwolf is a dumb fucking character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's kind of like, who the fuck's this guy? And where did he come from?
and why is he
This
talking to
is
Mother?
like, oh, now we actually fucking understand what's going on.
Yes. I love the fact that he's just not, like, at no point does he say mother. Zack Snyder's one, it's like, oh, he didn't say mother. He was just talking to the boxes.
No.
Like, oh, yeah.
Because he was never talking to the boxers. He was talking to Desaad. And Desaad was, all about fucking Darkseid. And it opens up the
actually
universe.
Getting to see Darkseid in this movie was cool.
Fuck yes.
Yeah.
I actually was really, and also I liked that we saw Darkseid at two different points in his history. So Darkseid before he was Darkseid.
Mm-hmm.
And then as the
when he was light side and now he's dark.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yet at the same time, he's just killing people. So I don't understand the difference between light and dark. What's going on?
Yeah.
Someone explain that
No,
to me.
I like that, but I like that Steppenwolf has motivation. Like you've got a bit of an idea as to what he's trying to do and why he gives a fuck about this. And actually, there's one thing that I really liked and I enjoyed a lot. There's the moment where Steppenwolf is facing off against or talking to Darkseid through, I guess, Rock Zoom.
Rock Zoom.
And when he talks to Darkseid, his armor just takes itself off. And I was like, okay, that's really fucking cool. But also, I love that he is quite literally showing his belly. He is. I am sorry. You know, and for somebody that you have seen wipe out Amazons, you know, you have seen him absolutely fucking destroy armies. The fact that he is going, yep, sorry,
Yeah,
I
a
bow
sign of
before you.
submission. Mm.
I really like that, and I like the sort of, you know, subtlety of some of that imagery.
Although, who was the cool character, Jill, that we saw in the background of Apocalypse? That we
Granny
both were like,
Goodness.
oh yeah, that's Granny Goodness.
For all of like 5 seconds of
Yeah,
screen
but she was still
time.
there, and I think
no
that
reference.
that comes
Yep.
down
Yeah,
to
it
the
was
world building stuff that we actually got to see. Justice League was, you know, the original version was just about bringing these two people together, but this, at least in the Snyder Cut, it was opening up the whole cinematic universe for
Yeah.
DC to say, hey, there are big external players
Yeah.
that could come in the future, which
Well,
is
like the gods.
yeah, I mean, absolutely. You know, it's exactly, it's almost exactly like the Thanos stuff that they kept peppering, and they
Yeah.
had it there, and then they just went, no, let's get rid of that. We don't need to have that thing. It's like, you
Look,
fucking kidding
if
me?
it wasn't for the unfortunate timing of his daughter's death, we probably could have had a better cinema release. But what we got was Joss's attempt. And now this is Zack saying, hey, this is the movie I want to make. I want to dedicate it to my daughter. And I think it was kind of a really beautiful thing that he did.
Yeah.
Like, even though he can complain that there was so much extra crap in there, it's like at the end of the day, who cares? We got this extra content. It was something that he really wanted to make. And I think he made it with a lot of love for the characters,
Oh yeah.
as much as, you know, a lot of people might not agree that it's the same as their vision. It was his. And now it's out there.
And also, I mean, a lot of love for the world that he was building, because
Yeah.
to me, this one felt like a film that was made by somebody who knows the DC universe and is happy to play in all the different areas of it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, in Batman versus Superman, you kind of got the feeling that it was a dude who was kind of, I'm going to use Batman and I'm going to use Superman, but I don't really fucking understand them. You know, when you go back to Man of Steel, you're like, wow, you really fucking
he
don't
did
get.
not get Superman.
Yeah.
No.
Whereas in this one, you kind of get that he understands what the characters are, and that he can play in Atlantis, or he can play on Themyscira, and he can also throw a gigantic fucking war where you've got gods and you've got Green Lanterns and you've got, you know, all sorts of shit like that, and go, oh yeah, right, cool, yeah. And what I'd say about it is that this was a film that you could build a universe on.
For sure. Yeah. And maybe I'm a little bit sad that we won't get to see that.
Absolutely. I am legit disappointed because, you know, as much as I love Marvel and I love the Marvel films and everything, DC has a different flavor. And I would have been very interested to see a DC universe that had this as its, I don't know, I guess it's bedrock.
Yeah. It's foundation.
Whereas this one is now a weird aberration. And there's all these other films that are now and DC have now very, very publicly said, we're doing multiverse shit. So there can be Robert Pattinson Batman, there can be Joker, there can be another Superman led by J.J. Abrams.
Can you imagine though, like, especially as someone like me, if you'd gone back to the X-Men film, like, you know, the first one, you know, the first Fox X-Men film, and just gone, hey, in 20 years, there will be a race between DC and Marvel to multiverse, like, stories running through that. And I would have been like, what the fuck? It's like, this is like the X-Men films and their success is going to pave the way through in about 20 years for a race between the Marvel and DC in film and television to do weird multiverse shit where they start cross-pollinating actors and franchises and all sorts of things. I would have been like, you're high, future me. More than usual.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Like,
now,
that's kind
yeah,
of
we do
fun.
have the idea that the next Flash film is going to be them entering into the multiverse. And the next Spider-Man film is going to be some kind of well,
the next Doctor Strange is
Doctor
literally called
Strange.
Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, well, yeah. So which
Like,
one's coming out first?
come on.
Is it
Well, I don't know if they're going to be able to get around a Flash film that fast.
No.
I don't know if they started production on a Flash film, but they have on Doctor Strange. So
That is true. Yeah. Missy says, "Is Snyder the Feige of DC?" I think he could have been, but
I don't think
that was Jeff Johns, and they sacked him.
Well, look, and something that has come up in the chat as well, talking about the loss that Zack Snyder has, and that kind of stuff in this film is right there on screen, and I think it's all the stronger for it. Like, some of those more emotional beats were important. Sure, they're a little self-indulgent, but you're not gonna. I think you said, Jill.
But he's a filmmaker. Like,
Yeah.
what filmmaker isn't doing a self-indulgent thing? For
Sure.
2.5 hours?
And just punching a bit of Nick Cave throughout the whole thing, which was like, who was also going through his own trauma. I'm just kind of like, oh fuck, man, guys, this is like,
top it off with a little bit of Hallelujah for the credits.
just going super dark, like real dark, like
Yeah.
but justifiable dark. You're not just making this dark because it's fun.
It's
You
Vanta
actually,
Black.
yeah, DC's
Absolutely.
Vanta Black universe, fucking terrifying. But yeah, look, hey, I don't know. Would you watch it again? That's a question I'd like to find out.
I'm good.
I too
good.
am good.
there are sequences of it that I would watch again. Like
I think the character moments I'd probably watch again.
yeah, there are some really lovely bits where I was like, oh wow, okay, that's a nice kind of interaction or something. There was some fun stuff with the big fights with Steppenwolf, and like when Superman shows up in that last fight, I was legitimately like, oh.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. Oh,
Fuck,
but I
yes.
already knew this was coming. But yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I feel like with this one, I'm like, oh man, I wish that I could remove the memory of the Joss Whedon film, so that, because the thing is, all the beats. It's still ostensibly the same film. It's doing the same things and the same shit happens, but just in a different way and with a different kind of meaning behind it. And I would love to be able to watch this without ever having seen the Joss Whedon thing, because I think that would be an interesting experience. I'd also like to see a 3-hour version that is the best of both worlds.
They would have torn that.
Can I say, and we should probably talk about it, that last half hour of the and then, we really didn't need it.
I mean, the post-credit sequence from the original, where it's a bit of Lex Luthor and a bit of Deathstroke, Deadpool,
Deathstroke,
Deadshot. I don't know, some guy.
There is a tone-deaf review of this on an unnamed media source that I will say that is talking a lot about how Batman took Deathstroke's eye, and that's the reason Deathstroke wants to get him. And I was like, you're wrong. That's not what happened, and you're wrong. But also, I was kind of like, there's no point arguing with you because you don't give a shit. You're just watching this stuff.
I mean, that ending, you're like, oh, okay, that was the teaser at the end of the original one. Yep. So fine, leave that in. But then we get another ending. Well, I mean, we got another ending before that, but then we get the other ending.
Yeah.
And that to me is probably the bit where I'm like, oh no,
that's where
Zack.
you lost me. Yep, you lost me.
Yeah, that's when they.
And the funny thing is, that's the shit that was shot later. That was the shit that was actually shot for this version.
Oh, what?
Right.
Yes, all of that
Why
stuff with Jared
bother?
Leto, all that stuff like was Ben Affleck back in the cowl and everything. They were shooting that in COVID. Like there's footage of them on set with them wearing masks. So that was shit they added in later.
Why did you bother?
I don't know,
So
because unnecessary, but also it kind of then teases a thing that we know is never going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, unless you were actually legit going to do a Crisis on Infinite Earths in the DC extended universe, then put it in. But Zack, this is your your love piece. Like, this is what you wanted to make. Why are you putting in this extra bullshit for teasing
yeah.
stuff that ain't going to happen?
Yeah. I mean, you're quite literally teasing a film that is either 1 or 2 films away. So this whole nightmare stuff of Batman seeing into the future,
Stop
and
trying
seeing,
to make
the Flash
Leto
from the
Joker
future and
happen.
everything.
Stop trying to make Leto Joker happen. It's not going to happen.
Oh yeah, we don't want it. Just put it in the bin where it belongs.
Yeah. I mean, that sequence, I was like, okay, whatever. And then Leto Joker's there, and you're like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. And then you get another ending after that, where there's another little bit of fucking Martian Manhunter, and you're like, yeah, but you already did that. And I like that Ben Affleck in that sequence looks about as fucking uninterested as the rest of us by that point.
Yeah.
He's like, Martian Manhunter. Okay.
Okay.
And
another one.
Cool.
Look,
The stupid thing is like, oh, what should I call you? And it's like, well, his name is John, so why don't you just call him that instead of, you can call me the Martian Manhunter. I'm like, oh, fuck off.
Yeah. So Missy says, hang on, that's exactly what Marvel did. Thanos first turned up 10 years ago. Yes, but they had a plan in place that there were going to be a bunch of other films. This is conclusively the end of Zack Snyder's take on the universe, so why put a fucking tag on it?
Yeah.
I mean,
anyway. Anyway.
And the weird thing is, I think there is still going to be some kind of weird continuation of that universe, because like Suicide Squad was still kind of in that universe. Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey, still kind of in that universe.
Yeah, that's true.
Like Suicide Squad had this version of the Flash.
Because Batfleck was in it, so.
Yeah. And the Flash movie that's coming out is still this version of the universe. So the Snyderverse does still kind of continue some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, it has an influence, I suppose.
But do you think that this was the be-all and end-all of the breakout thing, and then they're going to get him back and do the whole thing? Does this start the steamroller of fan petitioning? You know, is it that good?
I don't know. Honestly, don't know.
I think there's a lot of people out there who would like to, I mean, it's already a trending hashtag for, restore the Snyderverse or whatever it is. And that's perhaps something we should probably also flag, is that the reason that this film exists and is on HBO Max and is, it is available to us is because of a massive fan campaign, which was all about, release the Snyder Cut. And some of that was fucking nasty. Some of the people who have been involved in that have not been their best selves. And what I didn't realize is that some of the really big voices in it are people from Comicsgate and some
the
of the
toxic people that like to live on the internet.
Yeah, and some of the hardcore right-wing sort of comics and games websites and everything like that. So whilst these people have been, using their influence to do something in this case, which has produced something good, better, whatever, and there have been people who have donated money to suicide awareness and that kind of thing, which is great. At some level, underneath it all, there is something that I'm really uncomfortable with.
Yeah, and that's listening to people that start petitions and, pandering to them.
Yeah. I mean, if you get these people loud enough, do we get the version of The Last Jedi that they wanted, which is nothing like the one that we got? Or
Yeah, it's like, do you really want to open that can of worms?
And I mean, there is a danger in saying we will make movies not by, make movies by committee, but we'll make movies by popular vote.
By
or we
proxy.
will-
It's like, well, we've made the opening scene. What do you all think? I mean, come on, didn't we just vastly improve Shadow in the Cloud by just talking about it? We should go
Yes.
back and remake Shadow in the Cloud. Finally, the periodic table of awesome.
Yeah, but we didn't get on the internet and threaten people's lives to release the Snyder version.
Yeah.
It's not too late, Jill. We can.
We could. We should. Maybe we should.
Yes.
But
yes. Press
yeah.
F in the chat for more.
for releasing whatever version. Yeah. I think, there's some unhealthy precedents set by it, but at the same time, we end up with a better film. So, fuck if I know.
It's a confusing one, and look, I can't honestly say to people out there who are sitting on the fence about whether or not they should watch the Snyder Cut, whether or not they'll have a better time. I had a better time in places because it made sense, but I also didn't have a good time because it's 4 fucking hours long. And sure, you can break it up. You can break it up into chapters, but do you really want to, or is that going to throw you out a little bit more?
Peter's just said she's not in for 4 hours of Shadow in the Cloud.
Well, she's just not trying hard enough, Peter. Come on, just because
But
you're
look,
doing.
if someone can sit there and binge an entire TV series in one day, you can do a Snyder Cut. So
Yeah, you can do it, Peter. I believe in you.
You could do it because it actually has more emotional payoff, and I gave a little bit more of a shit about stuff, but it also gave me the shits. So where's the line?
I would say if you have not watched the original Justice League,
yeah, watch the Snyder Cut.
watch this. But
Yeah.
also, I'd probably do it piecemeal. I don't think there's anything wrong with splitting it up into chapters the way that it is actually now presented.
Just do what feels comfortable for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Watch the Snyder Cut and then watch Aquaman and then try and make those two things work.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I thought Aquaman was one of those ones that could have done with a few more fucking chapters.
But I kind of love that during that whole Justice League thing, at the end of it, James Bond, they're like, "Oh, James, what do you want to do?" And he's like, "Well, can I do this?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure. We don't really care, like because we don't know what this other one's going to be. So you just do whatever the fuck you want." He's like, "Okay, cool." It's saying, get me Dolph Lundgren. I want him to ride a giant seahorse. And all these things are like green tick. No worries, man. You just do it. You do you.
And to be honest, I think that's because that was on the heels of the Joss Whedon cut, where it's like, well, fuck it. You can't fuck it up any harder than that already has.
True.
Like, that's one thing that I think maybe that Whedon cut did was give a lot of filmmakers a lot of free rein. Because they're just like,
yeah, absolutely.
Go on, fuck it up harder. I dare you.
Yeah, look, it's fine. But I'm not going to recommend people. It's like, if you want it, yeah, it's better than, Justice League.
Okay, Missy said there, interestingly, watch Wonder Woman, Man of Steel, Batman versus Superman, Justice League, and Aquaman. Not a terrible weekend, just saying. Not a great weekend either.
No. But you forgot Wonder Woman.
Out of all of those films, Wonder Woman was probably the better one.
2/3 of Wonder Woman. 2/3 of Wonder Woman is amazing, and I love it. And then there's another third of that film that I go, oh, shit.
Yeah. And then Batman versus Superman, find the extended cut of it. It's not good, but it's better than the other. That's the thing. The extended cuts are not good, but they're still better than the other version.
Ish. Yeah, well, look.
That's it. That's
yes.
right, I think.
Yes, I believe so. We've gone over. In fact, we did that. That's good.
Yes.
We're cool. We can do that. I am excited I'm excited for you, Quinny, to tell us about what's coming up next week.
What I'm impressed by is that you have so deftly
the size
managed
of
to spin
that
and
bus.
put the bus on me.
I actually got
You
the
did
bus.
slow mo like the Flash. You
Yeah.
just, like, grab that bus.
And as I
push
go
it onto
past the
Quinny.
bus, as it lands on my face, I will eat the hot dog that you've just.
Oh yeah. So tell me what we're
Don't make me
doing.
know it's
Yep, we're totally going to do Avatar. That's totally what we're doing. Honestly, I don't know because I don't have it in front of me and we didn't make that decision before we started. And normally I'd say that we would, Elton Auger is saying Beforeigners, but that's also a series that we'd need to watch. And that's a lot that we've got to try and get through. I'd also say, maybe you should tell us on the Facebook what you think we should be watching.
Sure. Give us enough time.
Yeah.
Let us know by Thursday when the podcast comes out. So we have some time to do that.
But also,
Think about
yes.
it tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll put a post up on the Facebook and you can let us know some ideas for what you think we should be checking out. Also, unfortunately, this Friday night, I'm not going to be around to do our usual hangs and chats. But and I believe we also found out that, Jill, you were also unavailable.
Oh my God, I was so going to volunteer and say, hey guys, let's talk about Falcon Winter Soldier again, but I'm going away.
So
Have a nice little weekend away.
Yes. So there may not be anything on the Friday night, but we keep your eyes peeled. Who the fuck
Amuse
knows?
yourselves, children. We'll be back.
Talk amongst yourselves. Keep an eye out on things. You may actually find, who knows, Dion may do it. I don't know.
Start your own soon.
Dion's like, fuck no.
I just fully let you know that I'm not planning on watching.
Doing a live Twitch stream where you just talk to people.
The Winter Soldier, or the Winter Falcon and the Octogenarian Soldier.
So you're not going to be watching that on Friday night, so you can't talk about
those
it. in the stream.
plans. I've got. I may be watching. If anyone wants to join in on Friday, we can talk for as long as you want about Jean-Claude Van Damme's magnificent film back catalog.
That's the only time Dion's ever going to get to do it.
You know what?
Starting with, and I'll say this one, the masterpiece of The Quest. If you want to join in on Friday night, I will happily talk to people about The Quest.
Fuck you, because I actually like The Quest, and I would talk about that.
Well, looks like you're gonna have to come back then.
I
I can
would,
always
but
change.
I'm
I've got so much there. You want to talk blood sport? We could talk, kickboxer.
Street Fighter?
We could talk Street. No, Street Fighter's too genre. Universal Soldier. That's a good one. That's got Dolph Lundgren and Jean-Claude Van Damme in it. So.
Casper also makes a very good point that on Friday night we talked about Falcon and the Winter Soldier for about 30 minutes, and that was just random shit.
Yeah. Right. Time cop. Exactly, Casper. That's it. And people out there, be like Casper. Send us some money in the Ko-Fi. That's great.
Wow.
That helps.
We're affiliate now.
I was going to say,
yes.
let us all do a little
subscribe.
dance.
Yes, well,
so
when we
haven't actually got it fully.
Hit that subscribe.
Yes.
As soon as we get all of the affiliate shit set up, then smash that like button and
we'll
subscribe
let you
to
know.
it.
From
Because at the moment, we've still got to arrange all of the bank details.
Yes, for the thing, we'll be doing fucking a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, we'll make an announcement. It'll be fine.
Yes, you will definitely know about it before next Tuesday. What the fuck we're talking about next Tuesday.
Now it's time for vertical integration and dropping as many ads as we can. I'm joking. It will be the same amount of ads. All right.
We do ads?
Sure, we do now.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. We hope you have enjoyed your evening. We have enjoyed having you here. There have been a whole bunch of you, and you've been lovely. I have been Quinny.
I've been Dion.
And I've been Jill.
Happy birthday
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Drop an F in the chat. Happy birthday to Jill. Hip hip.
Hooray.
Hip hip.
Hooray.
Hip hip.
Hooray.
Hip hip. No, I'm sorry.
Oh, God. And then?
Swift and powerful monarch of the ocean.
Jill. Swift and powerful monarch of the ocean. Oh, dear. Yes, there we go.
Right.
Well,
Thanks,
we
everyone.
have haven't even organised to do a raid of anyone. We don't know. What
Oh no, we
works.
actually
Do
we can do a raid
Have you-
because
tell me, Glenn.
there are a couple of friends of ours who are out there ready to be raided.
Oh, raiding to be readied. Well, so
Yeah,
let's
they
go
are,
raid some people.
ready and willing. So you know what we're going to do? We are going to go and raid our friend, the lovely Jordan Raskopoulos.
Hi, Jordan.
So if you don't know who that is, hold on to your butts because
You're in for
it's going to be a
treat.
good time.
It's going to be good.
Thank you. And we will talk to you guys real soon.
I wanna